Yes. How are we doing, people? Welcome back. Welcome back to another stream. Great to see you all. Great to see you all back. Thank you for joining me for another day. It's an honor to have you all in. Please do make sure you drop a big like on the stream. Make sure you are obviously ready. Obviously get your comments in. Crypto Bro, how we doing, mate? Listening from the gym. Oh, thank you very much for joining. Dung Schlung. Dung Schlung. Dare I say my biggest fan, Dung Schlung. What a legend. Thank you for joining again today. You said sitting here in my undies waiting for Stonksy to go live. Nice, mate. Nice. Yeah, I mean, why not, eh? Why not lounge around in your undies if you can? You know, get it going. Are you trading? Are you like, are they your lucky undies? Or what? Your lucky underpants? Yeah. Desperados, how we doing, mate? Great to see you. Always great to see you, Desperados. You said the same. Good morning, Stonksy. You look terrible today, mate. Psych, looking extremely cute as usual. Hope you had a good weekend. I did, mate. I did. Thank you very much. I did. I hope you had a good weekend as well. And obviously, thank you very much for the lovely, kind words. It does really, really hit home. Really gets me in the feels. Thank you, Dungslung. Always appreciate you. Wiz, how we doing, mate? Great to see you. Yeah, great to see you, mate. We will have Justin joining us shortly. But I did obviously just want to go through it first because I'm going to probably close it out. The trade that we set yesterday. So obviously we did set this this order yesterday. It did trigger overnight. Now we are currently over 38% up. Which is only 29.5 USDT. But obviously we are running an extremely small account. So, relative to whatever account you may be running, this would have obviously netted a much nicer return for a larger account. 38%, relative to $1,000 account is obviously $380. Or obviously whatever type of account you want to relative it to. But yeah, we did. I mean, we really cheated death there, didn't we? We really cheated death because I think initially I had the stop loss at 107,400, and then after the stream I moved it down an extra $100. But yeah, let's take that money off the table. Thank you very much. We'll close that out. So we're back up to $101, which is obviously very nice. Really nice. Now, let me know in the chat, what do you think I should do? Do you think we should hit reversal on this? Do you think we should short this back down? I'm not too sure myself on what direction we're going to be going next, but obviously we'll take that, add it back to the account, which is very nice. Put us back in a more healthy looking position anyway. But I just wanted to run through with that, obviously on stream, because you guys, obviously that was here yesterday, will have known about my order I had opening up, and obviously I was very, very much just about cheating death there. We did get away with one because I pulled the stop loss down another $100. So, yeah, whether you want to call it luck or whether you want to call it just simply great trading is up to you guys. I'll let you decide. But, yeah, that's where we was up to anyway. Currently, Stonksy is in a double green background. A double green confirmation on the 5 minute, as we know. Fantastic. Really nice push-up since that. So, yeah, you're long, I'm short, made the best trade win. Well, I've closed mine out, to be honest. I've closed mine out. I think I was thinking about joining with the thing. And SMFC, how are we doing? You'll be obviously thrilled to see I've made back some of the money on that account. It's great taking the alternative route now. We learned our lesson, not going with a trade based on the poll. We're going from actual going from actual analysis and Stonksy usage now, instead of just blindly trading off the poll decision. Do you think we sweep 110 and drop? You know what? That's a fantastic question, because that actually was the level I put into the newsletter today. So we'll cover the newsletter shortly. But if I could actually get the chart up that I put into the newsletter. Let me just see. So yeah, I mean, that was that was the level I outlined in the CSE newsletter this week that went out today. That is ultimately the big level in and around 110, maybe just a couple of $100 above. But I think that is the level. I don't think really the all-time high. I don't think will provide much resistance, because I mean, obviously, even if it's going to be a liquidity sweep, it's going to create a new all-time high regardless, isn't it? Even if it just goes after liquidity at like 113 or 114, whatever, that's not the major sticking point. The major sticking point at the moment is 110. I don't know. I think, I think it's a real tough one, because of how long we see Bitcoin consolidate for, isn't it? It's a real tough one. Like, how long have we done at the moment? Let's see. So I suppose it depends on really where you want to take it from. Whether you would take it from here or here. I think I would take it from here, because obviously that was a consolidation in itself, and then we broke out of that here. So I think, taking it from there, we're currently 51 days into it. Let's see what we did again. We broke out, small consolidation, broke out, and then obviously we'll take that from there. I think that's a good point. till we broke down. That was 94 days. And then what did we do on this one again? We broke down, and then we'll take it from. I could take it from there until we started. That was around 50 odd days, something like that. So yeah, it's a tough one. I think something is coming. I am expecting it probably to at least. You would think it would at least, even if it's not going to fully break out to all-time high. Yeah, like you said, a liquidity sweep. So probably look to clear out. If it's looking out, Bitcoin doesn't always do this. But obviously a clearance of 110, 700 would be a full ride of obviously all this built up here. So a push into maybe like 110, 800, maybe even 111 would obviously provide a great liquidity sweep and trap. And then if the follow-through's not there, then obviously that would probably lead to a bigger pullback because we'd have faked out again. So I don't know whether we will get that because, again, this is obviously Bitcoin. We don't get the perfect moves. Maybe it just does there, like 110, 500, 110, 600. But if it was to run, we'll do a complete liquidity sweep and then obviously get back below, then, it's kind of a fake out. Yeah. So definitely something worth considering and looking at for sure. And we could take maybe a bit more of a look at that shortly. But yeah, I do like your thinking because that was my thinking. That region is obviously massive and the kind of last obstacle, isn't it? What have we got? Sure. Yeah. I might fire off a short, to be fair. Full port into Tesla so I can cash my trading. I imagine. I think that's incredibly risky at the moment. Or CoreWeave. Patiently waiting for bear, stepped in, having a short position since 110k, says King Wrong. Now, King Wrong, I don't think I've ever seen you in the stream before, so big thank you for joining first off. Please do make sure you drop a subscribe if you're not already, but thank you for getting involved in the chat. That's obviously in really nice position to have. You've got obviously a nice buffer. So yeah, great trade. But yeah, please do make sure you drop a sub. King Wrong, great to see you. Your BPN's in from 109,600. And Steve-O is in saying howdy to you, mate. And Justin is here. How we doing, mate?
All right, Dave, you?
Yeah, I'm smashing. I am smashing.
Lovely.
Cannot complain at all.
What are we thinking? What are we talking about?
We were just talking about Bitcoin. We were just discussing the old corn. Which says on the crypto side, Sol is in a really interesting place, right below a local range. Yeah, there is a couple of things that are looking pretty interesting. Afternoon, Gonksy. How we doing?
What's your view of Bitcoin, Dave?
I think this. Let me get it back up. It is, in my opinion, anyway, pretty much just this, isn't it? So either we either run this liquidity above. Obviously, we've got plenty waiting to be took there and drop back below, and obviously have kind of like a fake out or trap, or then obviously from there, I think it's just a pretty easy route to all-time high then. But kind of this like 110 to kind of 110.5 region on the daily anyway is kind of like the sticking point. So yeah, I don't know yet. I don't know where I stand on it, but I do suspect at some point I would be surprised if we got neither. I would be kind of disappointed. Like if we just obviously didn't break through and just went down from here, I think that obviously that'd be a bit disappointing. But yeah, I think this will either
to break down, you're going to have to sweep some liquidity to the upside.
Yeah. I mean, this would be. You can imagine, obviously, if you're looking for a trap, I mean, this would be the perfect trap. Obviously, this wick here from 27th of May, we would obviously run all this that's built up here. We would run this that never got swept. I don't think any of them whips got swept unless they're not looking at it from the naked eye anyway, unless we zoom in. And then obviously, finally, this one, that would offer a big sweep of upside liquidity from this range that we've built. And also, obviously, just offer one massive trap because you could imagine, obviously, sentiment there will start building massively for all-time high, all-time high, all-time high. And then if it drops back below, I think, the pullback would be very nasty.
Yeah.
Alternatively, I think we could just literally bazooka, like just full bazooka, like something like we got last time. We could just see big expansive candles.
That's what my personal view is.
Yeah.
We are gonna break out, and we're gonna break out with volume.
Yeah, and I think
anywhere when you break out, it will fully displace as well. And I think you're looking at 120 probably minimum.
I think
not discount all the way up to 140.
Yeah, I'm thinking 120 to 130 myself if it breaks out. Yeah, I think you could because you can get anything, can't you? Like this day. That's a horrendous looking candle, but it created a new all-time high. So you can while you're distributing, you can always get just a wild candle to just completely fuck people up. So you could always
looking at the wider world and looking at, if you look at the gold chart on higher time frame, which I've done for the first time in ages earlier, you look at some of the indices. Everything to me looks like it's poised for a big move, a really big move. Now, I can't tell you which way that'll be. I'm hoping it's up for crypto, but it just looks like it's primed. And if it wasn't for that FUD at the end of last week, when we had all them suddenly those Bitcoin wallets that suddenly came alive.
Oh yeah.
With 60,000 Bitcoin, was it? After 14 years or so?
80,000, I think. 80,000.
It was a lot. I can't believe you activated your wallets after all that time, Dave. But
I know.
Needs must. Bills to pay and all that.
I placed a big, massive short before we did it, though. So.
But it looks like it's been manipulated. I mean, I know it's manipulated to the nth degree, but it looks like that came in just as it was bubbling up, ready to go.
Yeah. Well, do you remember last? We see these, don't we? Do you remember last time in this bit? So it was when we had this real boring phase here, and it was this candle, and this is where obviously we'd consolidated. And then we looked out, obviously, at this point, we looked like we was going to, maybe at least come and break this range. And then that was when the buy bit hack happened. And then we went all the way up, and then it just went poof, all the way down.
It's amazing how convenient suddenly this fuddy news comes out at the right time.
We was right, it must have been right towards the top of this daily candle. Obviously, we was clearing all this, making its way back towards 100k. And then that buy bit hack happened. And then obviously, thereafter that, we just completely broke down, didn't we? I can't actually remember what the kata. I don't know. Was this just an organic breakdown? I can't even remember now. Or did this?
It would have been
something driving this.
I
can't remember what it was.
When was that? Was that April? February?
Oh, I tell you what this was. I think this was not
Israel.
Oh no! I don't know. Actually, I can't remember.
When Israel and Iran, was it?
I can't remember. I've no idea. Anyway, I don't know. It might have been, but yeah, I remember that one. I remember that one pretty clearly. But yeah, I think it's looking like it's going to do one thing or another, doesn't it? Pretty soon as well. What have we got? We've got Gonksy. How we doing, Gonksy? Great to see you. BPN says, I think we need to find support still before we pump. Looking at 107k-ish. And Desperado says, I bet on a breakdown tomorrow. Now, I wouldn't do that, Desperados, because it is only minutes released tomorrow. So it's minutes from the last meeting. I'll get it up for you. So it's kind of old news now. It's like...
there's no financial news this week.
Yeah,
the next financial news is next week with CPI and PPI.
Yeah, this is just the minutes from the last meeting. So obviously nothing really is going to come of it because obviously straight after we have the Powell conference, which basically gives his thoughts. And then obviously he gave a lot of information at that summit last week. So I don't think there's going to be anything in here that surprises the market or gives any sort of reaction to the market at all. The minutes are normally not. The minutes are normally just because it's a lagging piece of data in it by like a couple of weeks, a month. But that is the only thing that is coming out this week, I think, regarding the US. And again, I don't know. I don't even know why it's like red importance, because it's not really. But yeah, there we go. But yeah, I mean, as for Bitcoin, obviously, yeah, we had a decent recovery so far today. Obviously, we dropped down overnight in Asia session, and we are back up towards the same time as yesterday at 11 o'clock. So, woohoo!
Well, the thing is, I've checked, when you're ready, Dave. I think if I put my chart on there, I'll show you my hopes.
There you go. You're on.
So
broadcasting.
From my perspective, as long as we keep closing, the keep over here on the weekly, the 104.5, we're bullish. So that's good. So I don't think there's any scenarios to worry about there. And then, so on the, where is it? 4 hour, I think it is. So I had this little, you can see the liquidity with the way these candle bodies are, and then the liquidity was building either side.
Yeah.
Which comes off of like this kind of candle here. So my thing was, we're just going to build here, then you probably manipulate and then break range, is my personal view of what's going to happen. I think that's about as simple as it gets. I think the only bearish scenario is if we lose on the weekly, one of the June monthly open. But apart from that, we're literally going to be building between 110 and 107.8.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That is my personal view. I'm not going to change my view unless anyone wants to tell me otherwise, but I think that's pretty straightforward in my opinion. And I'm just wondering what the news event's going to be that breaks us out, because like you said, there's nothing this week whatsoever. I've got some minutes tomorrow, but then...
Well, I do believe, I don't know if this is going to be the news event or what, but there's meant to be something coming out on the 22nd now from the US government about Bitcoin, which I think if someone knows the full details on it yesterday, I only saw it in passing, but I think it was kind of suggested that it could have the details of when they're planning to buy some in it. Now, again, I don't know if I can pull, while you're sharing your screen, I'll see if I can find it. But if anyone else saw that, or if there's a news article anywhere about it, that is obviously something that's coming up within the next, just under 2 weeks, which maybe could obviously trigger something, couldn't it? It could trigger something if, because I think
we're poised. All of the charts say to me, like, you look at, so this is the gold chart. I mean, the level of market making here is just astonishing. But we've been in this range on gold for, again, 60 days, similar kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's poised and primed and ready, in my opinion, just looking across the board of just a breakout across the board. So same thing with Bitcoin. It's just what is going to be that news event. I don't think it's personally going to be it might help the narrative that it government buying Bitcoin related, but looking at the fact that you've got gold doing the same thing, to me, says that it's going to be a non-crypto specific bit of news.
Could be. I mean, you just don't know, do you? You just don't know what's going to trigger it. But I mean, I think strategy obviously keep buying, don't they, every week? But they announced a raise of 4.2 billion yesterday through one of the stock offerings or whatever. I don't know. I don't even know what they are. It's them other tickers that they have on the stock market. But they're looking to raise another 4.2 billion, which obviously, if injected into the market now, would probably push us very, very close. If not, towards all-time high. If he just went full just full golden balls and just completely just twapped it in the market, just one after another, just walking it up himself.
I like to say the fact that let's have a quick look at what other telltale signs we've got quickly. It's all the same.
Wiz says, didn't they say they're pausing their buys? I don't think so. Not that I've seen, anyway. I mean,
just looking at the indices and everything as well, Dave.
Yeah.
Everything that you look at, like the DAX, FTSE, Nikkei, S&P, everything's kind of thereabouts, and just looks like that you're going to get some kind of external news. I don't think it'll be ceasefire. I think the trigger is going to be rates.
Yeah,
it's the only thing to me that makes sense where it's going to have a far-reaching impact across the board.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it could be. I mean, personally, I don't think they'll cut until September. But they could do. I mean, he did suggest, didn't he? Obviously, that they could cut in July. He didn't. I don't think he said no.
Yeah. So
I don't think they would do it.
Is
30th.
Yes. 30th.
Yeah, 30th, and then they're done then until middle of September.
But I can't remember what investment bank it was. It was one of the big boys the other day that had changed their expectations for the year from 2 to 3 cuts. So to me, it is, imminent that you're going to get some kind of the fact that across the board you've got so many key charts that just look ready to make a move. It's got to be something that's far-reaching and won't be just crypto related.
Yeah, it could be. It definitely,
of course.
It definitely could be. I mean, I don't think they will cut until the middle of September, but that's just obviously just my opinion. It doesn't really carry much weight or anything. I think it could. I don't know. Because everything is going without Bitcoin in it, really. Like, I know Bitcoin's on the cusp of it, but the S&P, Nasdaq are moving without Bitcoin already.
This is, to me, this is being suppressed.
Yeah,
it is being suppressed for a reason. Obviously, the S&P is pushed a bit more, but this is being suppressed. And then obviously you've got the nonsense that still is Bitcoin dominance. It just feels like you've got one switch, and this is going to be the final run-up until, I think this will be the last push over the next 6 months until we have a cataclysmic stock market crash.
Mm-hmm.
That's my view.
Yeah, I'm
You,
in
you
full
know
agreement.
my conspiracy theories around it as well, Dave.
Yeah, I think it's definitely coming. Well, we can never say definitely, but I think it's high
Definitely,
probability they're coming.
maybe. I'll tell you what does look quite good, Dave, is Ethereum.
Ethereum, yeah.
I think this looks all right, personally. Really, really nice. When we came down and liquidated into this price void here, immediately gained back in this range, and you can see the weekly candles, the liquidity is building.
SMF6 was that a dog barking? Yeah, it wasn't my trading view alerts. Yeah, it was my trading view alerts. BPN says, I think they prolong rate cuts, which will make us crash. They're already too late on cutting. But it could be, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there is obviously the idea that the Fed are already too late and they've waited too late to cut. But, I mean, I think the issue is with them is I think they don't want to yo-yo. So I think Powell obviously is just he's a very conservative guy anyway, and you know, very conservative, don't want to do anything too rash, you know, too rash and stuff. He also doesn't want to bow down to what Trump wants. But I think one of the key things they're probably waiting on is to see this lagging data of how much tariffs are going to affect inflation, because obviously high inflation means rates increase. You know, lower cool inflation, consistent low inflation means that they can ease the pressure then and cut rates. I think probably one of the things that they maybe what's really toying with them is if they cut rates and then, you know, inflation then starts to go up to 3%, 4%, 5% again, then that instantly then means the brakes are slammed on cuts, and then they're going to have to start increasing again. So basically it just ends up with just one big mess, and then probably people are saying, what are the Fed doing? So that may be, I think that's one of my ideas is why they might not cut. I mean, God knows when they'll cut. They could definitely cut in July, well, this month. They could also cut in September, or they could also just have a curveball thrown at them. I don't know when did the tariffs actually go live? Was it April?
Haven't they delayed it again to like August?
Are they not in? I thought he was in.
I thought it was supposed to be the 9th of July, but I thought they pushed it out until.
So they don't. So none of the tariffs are live. I don't know.
Some of them are, I think, but
yeah.
I'm so bored of it now, Dave.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Because it's just all talk, innit? They're not actually doing anything.
Yeah.
Like, fair enough, if they're going to introduce them and actually put them on, then yeah, fair enough. But just saying that they're going to announce them and then they're like, oh, we'll reduce them. Oh, you know, we'll do that. We'll delay them and stuff like that. If you're going to do them, just do them and actually like, just have them on. Don't just say you're going to do them and then start messing with them and then delay them and stuff like that. That's the annoying thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
my personal view is we're going to get the stock market needs a black swan event, and I think something to do for this particular scenario that the America gets close to or starts defaulting on their debt.
Yeah.
Trump gets assassinated. Elon takes over. Blockchain rules the world, and then crypto goes nuts.
Yeah, I think there's going to be something, isn't there? Because what we see at the moment in the markets is just not sustainable. Like, it is literally just like up only forever, innit? Like, there's just, you know, apart from the COVID crash and the tariffs, which are two forced events, you know, like very, very forced. There's not just kind of any natural just rotation back down. You know, they're just forced liquidations, and they're obviously very fast. There's no like bear market.
Well, you know, obviously you, me and Wiz were talking yesterday about the same thing with the government bonds as well for the UK. It's very, very close, like tipping edge on the knife edge, kind of it going badly wrong. I've just got this feeling that, well, I know 100% that a stock market crash is very, very much around the corner, and I think it will happen in the next 12 months. I also, from what I look at, which my lovely friend Kay gave me the information to, that it's going to be I think probably the second or third largest crash in history, based on what this particular indicator shows. Not indicator as in like an indicator, but like
the yield curve.
Yeah, the yield curve stuff. And if that happens, it needs to be something outrageous. And we know debt spiraling. So my personal number two top narratives will be either a biblical scale computer hack of some description, or malfunction, or quantum computing, or something going like Terminator 2S, or something to do with the US or sovereign debt.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it could be anything, couldn't it? Like it
literally, it could be like if you.
I think that you could probably think of like 100 different scenarios, but I mean, yeah, like imagine if like a couple of AIs just start going rogue or something.
But the thing is, if you
I don't know what they're capable of, to be honest. I don't know how tightly controlled they are, or if they could even do it. But imagine if like the AIs just started hacking into like the US government accounts and draining them or something. Like I don't know. I don't even know if they can do that. But imagine if they did, and then the US is just left bankrupt.
Yeah. So if you look at the last stock market crashes, we've had obviously the global pandemic, which who would have dreamt up that kind of scenario? Then prior to that, you had like the bank collapse off the back of the housing market. Prior to that, you had 2 planes flying into the World Trade Center. So it's just like, how many different outlandish scenarios do you need? So anything that you come up with is fully in play. But all I know is the yield curve has done what is given the signal that it's coming. It's flirting on the zero line. It's just a case of when it's going to trigger, and then well, the trigger's hit. It basically will be within the next 12 to 18 months tops. Yeah.
And as well, it's nothing to be feared, really. Obviously, unless
it's healthy.
Unless you could lose a lot of money in it, from holding spot, it will probably be our last chance to buy at a point in time when you go, oh, I wish I could have bought the 2008 crash and stuff like that. Like, if you're talking the next 20 years, it will be our last chance to get in on things before, obviously, naturally it will just continue on up, won't it? So if you do get the chance, just obviously be prepared to buy, because it will be probably the opportunity of the. But also, you could see, I think it was after the Great Depression, weren't it? There was the lost decade, where obviously it just went sideways for bloody ages.
Well, there will be, but we've got our man in the stock market, so
yeah, it doesn't matter. We've got the Wizard of Stock, so it's fine. BPN says Elon leaks the black book screenshots while we're crashing. I mean, maybe it could be that he actually does have, some information on the black book or whatever. And obviously what he's doing at the moment is maybe just applying pressure to see if they're going to do it, or he's going to take matters into his own hands. But he's being very, very vocal about the whole situation, isn't he? And also, you got to remember, it's not just Trump. There's probably a lot of powerful people that are sat there probably feeling very uncomfortable with what he's saying at the moment, because, it's not just him. Obviously, this is all alleged. We don't know for a fact anyone step foot on there, do we? But for people that allegedly or theoretically did, powerful people,
there will be a lot of people on there that you'll go, is what I would guess. And there is the old saying of there's no smoke without fire.
Yeah. So this is kind of that thing. Do you remember that thing that went around a couple of weeks ago of who'd win in a fight, 100 men or the gorilla? Well, in this instance, Elon is the gorilla because he has the reach. You know, he's got obviously X, and then you've got all these other probably. I would imagine that is probably the ratio as well, 100 to 1, of powerful people probably thinking, oh, we need to shut this guy up, or if he starts to go even further to suggest that he knows of anything, then it might be 100 men versus a gorilla.
He's got the world by the short and curlies because the US can't basically, military or civilian, any kind of space kind of stuff. They need SpaceX because they've got no other delivery vehicle. So he's got them absolutely bang to rights there. Obviously, he controls the narrative through news because he's got X. Mm-hmm. It's just so many.
How many government agencies do you reckon use Starlink as well? There's probably loads of them. There's probably loads of agencies that use it. Yeah.
Everything. He literally. It's not a case of go away, Musk. You've been a bad boy and you get sent to your room. He holds the control, and if he holds the control, the people that invest in his companies, which we all know the kind of the usual crew that will be, they've got the world by the nuts basically, and they can do what they want. I just got this feeling that something's going to happen, and Elon saves the day. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
just
could be. Yeah, it could. It very could well be because. Obviously, I don't know what he would do, but obviously, if Trump ever died, or in whatever scenario that he wasn't president anymore, you'd have obviously JD Vance step in, wouldn't you? Who, obviously, while he's played the good guy with Trump, you just never know, do you? There was once a time only, like probably 6-7 years ago, that he really didn't like him.
Well, it's keep your enemies close and all that.
Yeah, so he may well be frothing at the mouth of the fact that he might become president. Who knows? I would be as well. He's only a young guy, really, isn't he?
But which obviously America also needs, because they can't keep getting.
I know. Yeah, it's fascinating in America, isn't it? That like probably most politicians are over the age of like 60 or something. It is wild. Yeah. BPN says stock market has 100% recovery rate. Facts. Very true. Very, very true. And yes, Jeff, how are we doing? Great to see you. Thank you very much for joining. Of course, anyone that's joined, make sure you drop a like. If you're watching on X, make sure you head over to the YouTube channel and drop a subscribe. It'd be great to welcome you back every day.
But the only thing is, yes, the stock market does always recover. But the fiat system, as we know, is fundamentally flawed and based on ever-increasing debt. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we are at a pivot point in history, I believe, where we need to, at the very least, hedge against the fiat system, if not start moving away from it. Mm-hmm. So what's gone before might not ring true going forward.
Yeah.
Just as
Yeah, and you got to remember as well, Bitcoin was born out of the ashes of the last financial collapse, where obviously this one, it would naturally take the downward spiral, but then its acceleration out of a potential another one could be just as fast as the last. Obviously as fast as the last, it only took a couple of years before, it had done multiple thousand of X's. So, out of the next, say it does come down to a low level, like, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, 50, 40, 30K, lower, 20K, it could obviously radically go downwards with everything else, naturally, as there's fear. And then suddenly the sudden consensus of, we don't want that to happen again. And then obviously then Bitcoin rises up as the actual, like,
global, it becomes the Bitcoin reserve or something.
Yeah, like the actual solution. That could see, it's happened once before, so it could easily happen again.
But obviously, I sent you that tweet the other day, didn't I, from the America Party or whatever it's called, and they said that don't be scared of crypto, fully embrace it. It's open, it's transparent, it's decentralized, all of that kind of stuff, which is all the stuff that Musk believes in.
Yeah, and it's also interesting, isn't it, that they're saying that almost as if Musk himself is anticipating the downfall of the dollar or some sort of crisis that obviously puts the dollar at massive risk, because he doesn't really personally tweet about it him that much anymore. Obviously, he has done over, the past 4 or 5 years, but you don't really see him personally tweet about. He never really mentions Bitcoin, does he ever? Like,
but the thing is, right, so when the inauguration was held, just before that, I spent one weekend just looking at what the core principles of Musk and Trump and stuff were. And obviously, one of the things that is massively driven from Musk's whole ethos of how he does business is deregulation, open source, all of that kind of stuff, and which is basically blockchain, right? That's the whole premise of what it's built. So I don't know. I've just got this feeling he's going to get murdered, or he's the solution.
Yeah. Wiz says Bitcoin charts with different currencies show how weak the dollar is. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, obviously the euro, the pound, obviously still have about 10% to climb on the Bitcoin chart to get to all-time high. Yeah. Obviously with the fall off of the DXY. Nick says, is Elon the real Satoshi? Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Because imagine if he was, and then this whole time, it wasn't just the fact of getting Trump in to get the Democrats out. It was getting Trump in, knowing that Trump would overspend, bankrupt the US, which obviously causes the dollar to fall. And then, he sees his own creation then completely come to fruition and flourish as he meant it. That is also one pretty interesting scenario to think of, isn't it?
Like I've said on here a few times, everything's planned. This has probably been in the making for the outcome is already known. This is not just it's not just going to happen. There is a plan in place, 100%. What that plan end goal is, who knows? One thing is for sure, the fiat system cannot survive forever because it's based on ever increasing debt, and it's only so far you can kick that can down the road until Armageddon. So something's going to have to happen to fiat. The natural hedge at the moment that is only cryptocurrency, unless something else comes through. So something's going to happen, and we are on the verge of great change. I think the whole crypto market and the whole financial cycle, is showing the way that the cycle is broken, and I think it's because the cycle is about to change.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, you could also suggest that that's why gold has been rallying so hard as well. Obviously, we've had the uncertainty of tariffs and the war and stuff like that in the Middle East, but also, it could be it's maybe not a coincidence that as soon as Trump came in, gold has done like an extra 30%. Potential insiders already buying up gold, waiting for that absolute god candle that comes out of some real proper shaky uncertainty.
I think gold's just front run everything personally.
Yeah,
I think it's basically, you can see money's rotated from bonds into gold because the yields have been better. Actually, I think gold is basically the best performing asset across, even more than the Nasdaq of late. So it stands to reason that that's kind of why. So yeah, very, 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 very interesting times. But there's going to be great turmoil, but where there's great turmoil, there's great opportunity. Whether you are shorting or buying cheap stocks on the other side of it, the next few years could be generational money-making opportunity.
Yeah, because remember, this isn't, this isn't, it's not the crypto market or the altcoin market. It'll probably be a really long bottoming out phase, won't it? And
it'll take
plenty of time to buy in and around, a 10, 20, 30% region after a huge crash. Then that takes, a couple of years to recover, and then obviously.
So basically, with the last time my general stock investing side of things, unless I've got tips by that TradFi guy that is with, I generally wait for a stock market crash and then just buy blue chip stocks at 50% discount. Sit on them for 2 years, wait for them to double, sell, and then chuck the money into an index for the next until the next cycle crash.
Yeah, that's the way. But it'd be interesting because obviously, I think you could also see, you wouldn't maybe not have to sell if it comes as big as it could do. You could just hold on to them for 5-10 years, couldn't you? Unless obviously you like to try and trade them. But if you would have bought anything in 2008, that's obviously still relevant now. You would be up hugely, like ridiculous amounts.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. So, it'll be fascinating to see. Absolutely fascinating.
Anyway, back to Ethereum. Yes, I think this looks rather good. The fact that we've reclaimed this box.
Yeah, won't be a sec. Hang on. Go on, you carry on, mate. I won't be a sec.
No worries. So the fact that we've reclaimed this liquidity pocket here, I am expecting a push to 2,750. If we gain that on the daily and then the weekly, then I fully expect that we will see somewhere between, I think 3,500 was one of my levels. But it doesn't really need to stop in this zone. So it probably doesn't need to stop until we reach around about 3,700 to 3,800. So this could move. Not just it could move, I do believe that this will rip hard. So I am just waiting for the narrative to go. It's all primed, chart looks good, ready to go. Same as Bitcoin. On there, quick chat. Did you say Solana earlier, Wiz? I have got a soul chart somewhere. Souls. Yes. So my view on Solana is as follows. So again, we had this sweep into this liquidity pocket sat here. And that held, which is good. Then we retested it here, which is also good. So once we gain above $162 here, I expect to push it up to 1879. Was it 1879? 179, sorry. And then if we gain that, then I expect to push to highs pretty quickly. What's your view on Solana, Dave?
I think I've got it mapped out fairly similarly. I think. Let me take a look. Pull it up. So I have 158. Then after that, 168, and then 180, and then up towards 200.
Similar kind of levels.
Up towards 200 plus. Then after 180.
Yeah.
It's Solana, and alongside Ethereum as well. I think everything apart from Bitcoin is very like just level to level play, isn't it, at the moment? Because
yes.
So like obviously Bitcoin is pretty much just break one level and then explode, where everything else is level to level, because you know Bitcoin goes up, but then if Bitcoin stalls or comes down, obviously with dominance being so high, everything else just gets completely slapped. So it's not like one just easy long for alts. It's kind of just level to level in case Bitcoin starts losing momentum or pulls back. So yeah, pretty easy actually to map, unless obviously you're looking at some alts that are just completely dead, and then you just obviously it's more hopium in it than anything else. But you know, Sol, ETH, and then probably most of all the big ones are just kind of just level to level, pretty easy to look at.
Yeah. Are there any other? Has anyone mentioned any altcoins in the chat, Dave?
I don't know, but I think let me have a look through anything. What is interesting? Bonk's interesting at the moment. What have you made of the Bonk pump?
Let's have a look.
Bonk has been rallying very, very hard recently. Over the past, like I think it's had like 7 straight daily candles upwards. So pretty decent rally over the past week. Obviously coming back in towards them highs from May. Bonk. Yeah, Bonk BPN, yeah, Bonk. So Wiz says he's been buying Tia, Peak, Rio, and ZRO.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the altcoins, especially the Binance kind of looking Binance altcoins, have just been absolutely railed by anything Binance related, basically.
Yeah. Although we was actually, I think it was last week, wasn't it? That obviously we looked at Tia, and you was talking about, you know, obviously an eventual release pump, and that actually had a pretty decent day the other day, didn't it, Tia?
Yeah.
I don't know what
it's so trashed. I mean, yeah. I'll get onto them in a minute. So yeah, Bonk to me, at some point, I don't know what's before it, but this is still open, and we need to go there at some point in time. But obviously held these lows. Nice change character above this. Nice retest. So it looks to me like this is the main area going to be of liquidity on the buy side that we need to get through.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think once you gain here, like a lot of them, it'll be pushed to here. And if that gains, then you'll see all-time highs.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's basically as simple as it gets.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to. What ones did you say? Tia.
Tia. Obviously, I don't know what it's done since, but it had a half decent day the other day. The thing is, as well, is let's see what it's done first before that. What I was going to say is, most of the time, these things have a decent day and then just get distributed straight back down, don't they? But I don't know what it's done since.
It's been absolutely railed, is what I do know. I mean, so I have got a chart on this somewhere. Bear with me 2 seconds. Is this it? Here we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I mean, a lot of these coins now have gone through. I mean, when you was at this point here, you go, right, we was in this kind of range, call it up to here. Then you got the breakout, and you got the retest, and you go, fine. And you go, right, it's really decent accumulation. Then it's just been bossy pumped since then. But I put this little distribution channel going on the other day. It's gambling down here, like a lot of these, because you haven't really had like a big liquidation candle.
Mm-hmm.
It's just dangerous. I mean, there's no stopping this to kind of just carry on going down to wherever. It's miserable.
Very dangerous when things are in price discovery to the downside. Very dangerous.
I think unless you get above here, I just think it's just fraught with danger, personally.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, for where it's at the moment, you can easily give yourself an invalidation point, can't you? Of that kind of double bottom that it's put in so far. On that is what is like a pretty small accumulation range so far.
It's just there's nothing. You haven't had that long wick candle that says we've liquidated, in my opinion. So I just don't see the strength personally, and it pains me so much because it's one of my bigger bags. So my buying price is up here somewhere, so I can't even look at it. It's just too upsetting.
Yeah.
What other ones was I looking at? Look at that. So let's do a couple of interesting ones. I mean, this self-trade.
Yeah, I was looking at this on stream myself yesterday. I genuinely couldn't believe it because I've not looked at it in a while, and I think at first I didn't even know what to say. I was like, what on earth has happened to this?
Yeah.
That is a crazy walk down that in it on the price.
It's just obviously you had the CEO come out or whatever it was that was doing something dodge, right, or whatever it may be.
All right, okay.
So you've had the FUD, similar to like Varsity where we had it on there, and then OM and stuff like that. So you've had the similar kind of FUD, but I mean, just look at it. It's just, I mean, we're getting close to an area where I might just blind bid it.
Well, the thing is, yeah, you are like, you are basically just taking your seat at the casino here, aren't you? It's kind of like, it might go down another 10-20%, but if you're fine with obviously taking your seat there, the upside is a good few.
The RR is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I know where this is likely to go to in general. So there's a great risk reward here, and it's a good project, but like I think we said on stream last week, I can just see us get walked down, and then you'll just suddenly get that in like a day, and you just won't get in. And then by the time people get in, sorry, I went too far there. By the time people are looking to get in, they'll be looking for pullbacks, whatever. Then just go straight past them, and then all you're going to get is basically you're going to end up as the market makers
exit liquidity. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like,
it's almost. I was talking to one of our dear friends about this morning. It's almost criminal. It probably is criminal.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of the worst performing ones. You look at, remember this one? DOP.
Oh, yeah.
I
mean, you do have to ask the question, though, don't you? Like, where at this point, where is the supply coming from?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, where is the supply coming from? Because, like, surely most people have capitulated now.
Yeah.
So, is it literally just the market makers just rinsing any last bit of liquidity that's still in the order book, or like where is
Well, you look at these little
selling
scam
come
webs that go up where they're just grabbing liquidity. It's abysmal.
I think that might be there. That might be. There's a few of these charts. Obviously, I mean, if you put them side by side, Melania probably looks very similar. But yeah,
obviously, we was discussing it this morning, but
I have a feeling that these guys might just change token. I think what they're letting. My theory is, and I don't have any information or knowledge of this, but if I was them, I would just let it. Well, exactly what they're doing. Let it time-based capitulation. So obviously, anyone that's still holding that mentally just can't take it. Just let them sell. Then when you get something like that, that's looking at the moment where it looks like, okay, is this actually a small bit of accumulation? You just release a new ticker, swap everyone over, and just get rid of that chart, because that chart will always be there now, and it'll always be remembered for that.
It's funny you should say that, because our good friend Kay suggested a very similar thing the other day.
Yeah, I think maybe what they're doing is because you leave it to capitulate, because then when you give a new token and a new ticker, people that still want to sell then don't ruin the chart. Where if you do it too soon, you're just going to end up with just like what looks like a rug pull chart. Where obviously now, if you think about, the last 2 months of price action on that, how many people have sold that are now out, who then obviously don't have coins to sell. But I mean, if it was me and I was leading that project, I would just be like, if we're going to make any sort of attempt to resurrect this, at least do it with a clean chart.
Because they've never done anything with it. Because I know George the other day had sent around, there was 20 odd coins, I think it was, that had been listed from KuCoin.
Was it BitGet? Oh, was it KuCoin?
Sorry, no, it was BitGet. You're right, yeah. So you're going to get. We haven't had many delisting things of late. So delist it, rebrand it, relaunch.
Yeah, it could come. And to be fair, if they did that, it could maybe be worth. It could maybe be worth something, because if they have capital and they have money, could they just be waiting? So like Wiz says, rebrand and relaunch. Could they just be waiting for that and go, we're going to prove everyone wrong here, and just completely send the fuck out of it from minute one? Just completely walk it up like they did, obviously, with the last run up over the year when it did like 400x.
Yeah. So this is Burger Cities. So in 2021, the price topped out at $29. This might be the worst looking chart I've ever seen.
That is insane, isn't it? That is utterly, and that shows you as well just how crazy that time was. Just how hard. I mean, what would we give for altcoins to do that now? What would you give to get in an opportunity like that? Because that must have done like a good, like, what was it at before it did? Before it got to $29.
So this has now got a market cap of $126,000. So unless it's going to die, and this is another Binance CZ kind of project. I mean, Dave, you could probably buy a bag of this and send the charts like 4x right now. It's just madness.
I can't imagine how thin the book must be on that. The book must be so thin, it's unbelievable.
So from where we are now, let's go back, Dave, to, where was that? That was December, right? So to go to December highs, what's that? Just under 30,000%.
Oh my god! Yeah, that's a 300x, isn't it? 300x. Just back to December as well. I didn't realise the fall off was that big. Oh, that is bad, isn't it?
I'm gonna price.
That must be like 99.99% now down.
I mean, that is, of bad looking charts, that is the worst of a bad bunch. But Jesus, man. Has anyone else got any?
And again, it's another thing now, isn't it? Yeah, it's another thing of like, where is that supply coming from to continue to walk that down? Like, how is like not most people empty now, unless it's coming from a different entity? You know what I mean? Like, save the poll is up, and that goes for everyone else. Get obviously your voting. We are not too far away. BPN says I'm probably the only one short. Well, let us know on the poll. Wiz says, is that Nicola NKLA? Maybe the worst one I've seen. I can't remember what NKLA is. Is karate any good? I don't know. We can have a look. Let's have a look at karate and NK.
What's the ticker, Dave?
Karate. The ticker is literally karate. Karate. Karate Combat, is that it? From KuCoin. It's on a few, to be fair. Jesus. Whoa! Wow.
Hold on. I do the same thing on all of these.
Yeah, he says that's the one. What happened to that
8 million
season?
market cap, not almost 9 million market cap.
That is incredible, isn't it?
Do we know anything about this, or?
I have no idea. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's an actual thing or. What is it? Oh, it's a gaming token.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I mean, that's one of the things. There's not been like a gaming season. I don't know if there will be, to be honest.
Everything will have its time in the spotlight. I've little doubt. It's just a case of when,
yeah,
and to what extent. Because
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, with things like that, I mean, the one thing you can say about that is at least it has created some sort of a bottom currently. Like, whether it's a long-term bottom, we don't know, but it isn't repeatedly going down anymore. Like, it has gone down, obviously, to a new all-time low there. But it is kind of hanging around.
The construction of the candles, though. I mean, so you can have a punt, but you're going to need, if you entered like here, you're going to need, so if you go.
Well, the thing is, you just take it as like boom or bust, don't you, or something like
that?
You're
going to need something like a 25% stop loss.
Yeah, unless you just go boom or bust.
And then, I mean, it don't take much, but if you looking at candle constructions of signs of reversal, nothing there for me that says we're done yet.
Yeah, I have no idea.
You're better off waiting for the manipulation, then get some kind of change character, and then entering like that kind of on some kind of market structure.
Yeah, I really have no idea whether things like that will make a comeback. I don't know.
I mean, that just looks like a rug pull.
I mean, the move up and move down in 2024 is wild. It's like perfectly painted, isn't it? If you zoom out to where it had its high, like that is like perfectly constructed up and down, like Burj Khalifa. Perfect.
And then you get this nice right. Yep, we've got support, and then we don't.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty incredible. I mean, how high did that rally from when it like got its impulse up? From that red line to its all-time high, what did it actually do?
1,335%.
So that's like a 13-14x.
Dave, do you want me to exit so you can chuck your screens up ready for
Yeah, we can do, mate.
open?
Yeah, we can do. Let's go and let's go pull it up. Let's see what everyone's thinking in the chat anyway. Let's go and have a look at the poll. What is the poll saying? So we're currently 57% to the upside. Make sure you go and get your votes in. There's 22 people watching and only 7 votes. So go and get your votes in. Nicola Trump. Yeah, so that Nicola one, that was the stock, weren't it? I remember looking at that. That one is pretty. I mean, I bet there's loads on the stock market for that one. I think we'll take some beating. Orange juice was pumped unbelievably, apparently. Nick says Neox. We'll have a look at that as well. What do these mean? What do these party hats mean? But yeah, we've got 43 seconds to go, so let's find out what we're going to get. But yeah, Wiz is now trading orange juice as well, so he's trading anything under the sun, really.
Wiz is, like I said to you yesterday, you should change your name to T, was it? TTFIG, that TradFi guy.
Oh, yeah. He's the stock guy, isn't he? He is the stock guy.
Well, I'm, as you know, I'm a very avid gold trader.
Yeah.
That's my role in life.
There we go. So we're open.
We're off and running.
Bama hats. Oh, right, okay. Is that actually true, BPN, or are you just making it up? Yeah, we're open. Do make sure, if you haven't already, do drop a like on the stream. Make sure as well you head over to the channel if you're watching on X and subscribe. Come and hit that sub button.
Not much really occurring, is there?
Nope. It's very dry open from Bitcoin. Very dry. The S&P's down a couple of points. But in terms of Bitcoin, yeah, very, very dry.
What day is it? It's Tuesday, isn't it?
It is. It is Tuesday. Yes, top typers, I think. All right, okay. Well, you're the top typer, BPN, so congratulations.
Winner, winner.
And who was the other one that was the top typer? RN. Well done. Well done. Let's see. I'll tell you what I was looking at yesterday that you might like, mate. Is we went through and we was pulling up all of the No. So the companies that have recently either created a Bitcoin reserve or put it in the plans to create a Bitcoin reserve. And as you would expect, is absolutely hilarious what they do on the chart. So as you can see here, this one that is on the London Stock Exchange, Panther Metals, announced that they were creating a Bitcoin reserve. The stock price did 100% and then is currently in distribution back down. But the reaction on some of these is actually wild. Like even this one, obviously this is recently released, but you know, that straight up basically 100, actually that did nearly a 3x and a distribution back down. But just across the board, I mean, look at this one. This one did 566% and then distribution back down. It is actually wild how some of these stocks behave.
So these people that are doing the Bitcoin reserve, is it a long-term hedge against cash on the balance sheet?
I don't know. I mean, personally, I think that a lot of, if I was the CEO or on the board of a company, like you look at some of them, and some of the charts are just dead. You know, like either never moved or just, you know, obviously in a severely depressive phase. I mean, you look at this one, for example, look at this. Concilium Group, 2017, had a big pump in 2017, back down. 2021, big pump back down. And then obviously distributed back down in 2021. Went sideways for a good couple of years, did nothing, obviously, had these small pumps. And then just look at the absolute state of that. It went from, so I don't know exactly what date, but obviously it came along here somewhere. But from April, the end of April, May, it was at about $4. Obviously on the back of announcing, I think it was, I don't know whether these were a Bitcoin, they must have been a Bitcoin buy. Went all the way up to 90 and then back down. So you'd be looking at it, wouldn't you, going, if we literally just buy some Bitcoin, our stock price is going to double, triple, maybe, you know, even hit the jackpot of a 5x, 6x, 10x. It's well within their interest, I think, of companies that even if they have nothing to do, like obviously a lot of these probably have nothing to do with tech or maybe anything.
So I'm literally on the Concilium website.
I don't know what these guys do, but obviously there's probably a good few of them that have nothing to do with tech or whatever. And are just like, if we just start buying Bitcoin, our stock price is just going to completely rocket.
So it says here, Concilium Group Limited is a company quoted on the Aquis Stock Exchange growth market in London and cross-traded on the OTC markets in New York with a long-established presence in the digital asset sector. Since 2015, Concilium have played a pioneering role in supporting blockchain innovation. So basically, they're like a VC.
So Concilium, I can tell you what Concilium did. Where is it? It's on here somewhere. Let me find it. Concilium. Not there. That's not that one. Right, it's not on that page. Where was this? Actually, was this one of them, or was this one of the ones that should be on this one? Unless it's one of the ones that Michael Saylor retweeted. I can't seem to find it on here. It should have been on here though. Might not be that one, but as you can see, I mean, literally just from the start of June. If you even go back to the start of June, it was trading at $5. Went all the way up to 90 in the same month.
20.
Unbelievable. Yeah. But this is a great piece of thing, yo. So you got all sorts of different companies doing it, all sorts, and a lot of them haven't bought any. They've just announced that they're going to. Like this people, Cycle AI completed a £750,000 raise and are yet to announce the first Bitcoin buy. So Cycle AI are these guys, aren't they? And look at that. So this is obviously probably where they announced that they bought 3 big daily candles. You know, that's a 2.5x on the stock price, all the way back down, just up, down, perfect picture. So it's pretty fascinating the way they're behaving in it. As you can see, like their stock has just been down only for a year now. But it seems to be the way that, you know, small companies, maybe just, even if they're adding a small amount, are just going to get completely just power pushed to the upside by buying it. So it's definitely something that I'm interested in. Is like Wiz said, create a pie, spread your risk, create a pie, spread your risk across 5, maybe even more of these small companies, because, you know, once if Bitcoin breaks out, likelihood is anything tied to Bitcoin is going to just completely send for a week, 2 weeks, maybe. But I think longer term wise, it's definitely something to keep an eye on longer term. Is obviously once everything gets crushed, buying, the ones that could maybe do a micro strategy stock increase the way that did.
Nuts though that they're getting pumps out of nowhere from nothing really.
Yeah, literally just very, very small Bitcoin burns. Like, let's get an example here. Let's go to one that actually bought. So, any that I've actually bought. So these are future Bitcoin treasuries. So these aren't ones that I've bought. Let's go to one that bought. Panther Metals. So I think that's Palm. I think that's the Palm people, I think. Yeah, Panther Metals. There you go. So yeah, these are the guys that the stock price did a 2x in June based on buying Bitcoin. So they bought. So Panther Metals bought. They purchased 1 Bitcoin. So they purchased 1 Bitcoin and plans up to 4 million in buying, but obviously haven't bought that. And, plans and actually doing are very different things. Yet their stock price more than doubled following that. It's insane, isn't it? It's actually insane. So it seems to be the way, that, we could see a lot of just small companies or even dead companies be like, if we just start adding Bitcoin, then...
And where are most of these companies traded? Do we know?
So they're on here. So it tells you what nationality these companies are. So obviously, any British one is probably obviously going to be on the London Stock Exchange, or I think what's the other one? Is it Aqueous or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
So you can. I had a look on Trading 212. You can get pretty much all of these small ones on Trading 212.
I wonder who is behind, because someone obviously has cottoned on to this. Someone is probably facilitating this and pumping them up, these stocks.
Yeah.
And I wonder who it is and why. How are they getting the distribution? Because obviously, if you've got someone, let's say someone like MicroStrategy's behind this and they're pumping some of their bags, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are they then, is it getting enough publicity as a stunt to be able to go, for people to latch on to some of these companies?
Yeah, I mean, look at this one. Yeah, look at this one. So GS Technologies Limited, it's a British company, announces adoption of Bitcoin treasury policy, which allows for a significant portion of cash resources to be held in Bitcoin. Now, in March 2021, they had $2.61 million. So that's obviously over a year ago. I don't know why that's not updated to now. But again, they've only planned. They've not announced a buy or anything. Yet look at the candle. You can very clearly see there in June where that has been announced, and it's come here. So this day closed here. The next day opened 51% higher. The company hasn't even bought anything. And then obviously from where it opened, then closed minus 20%, but then obviously corrected all the way down to a 29% loss, but closed then 20% down. The company hasn't even bought anything. They've just announced, and it's, obviously, unless they've had a really big cash increase relative to obviously companies that we see buying now, is a pretty small Bitcoin purchase. Yet, obviously, that has created a 50% increase in the price. So it is literally just like, it's a craze. And this is what makes me think that this is creating somewhat of a bubble for Bitcoin, because, this is the type of behavior in it that you would probably see in a bubble. Like, literally.
When are you away, Dave?
What?
When do you go away?
I'm off from tomorrow. So tomorrow's my first day off. And then I'm back working on the 22nd.
I'll message you offline with Wiz. Maybe we can have a little chat about this because this interests me greatly.
Yeah. And do you know what I mean? Like, these haven't got any sort of obligation to buy. They're just saying that, they're announcing a Bitcoin treasury. They've got that cash. They could buy a 1/10 of a Bitcoin for, in pounds, which is probably like $9,000. Yeah, their stock has increased 50% in a day. Obviously, not anymore. It's back down to where it started, but that's where it opened, which is just absolutely fascinating, isn't it? I think anyway. And if you run through another one, Wishbone, let's see what Wishbone Finance did. Some of them actually haven't done anything, but so that's a gold trader. Wishbone Gold announces a Bitcoin treasury strategy. What did they do? I mean, that might be just related to gold anyway, to be fair. I don't know. But I mean, that's had a good increase. I don't know if that's related to Bitcoin or maybe something to do with gold or whatever. Did they have good earnings there? I don't know. Let's have a look at another one, maybe. Amazing AI. So obviously something probably to do with AI, you would imagine. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, you don't even know when they announced it with this, do you? Was it on day 1? Was it on day 2? Because it opened all the way back up here. I don't know. But that is plummeting to the downside. But it fascinates me. It fascinates me. True Spine Technologies. Let's see. Where's this one? True Spine. There you go. Can you guess there, mate? Which day they announced the Bitcoin? What did they announce? So they announced a Bitcoin treasury policy and exploring potential fundraising opportunities. So they haven't even got cash. They're just exploring fundraising opportunities. Can you tell me where you think they announced this on that chart?
So someone is behind this.
Yeah, then look at this. So their stock closed 59 cents that day. It opened 188% higher at $1.72. On the day, went all the way up to a 370% increase the day before. And then, it opened here, didn't it? Sorry, beg your pardon. It went up 67%, 66% on open, closed 189% up. But then obviously, went all the way up to a 370% increase. And it's currently still 100% up from where, obviously, it jumped. But yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, it's someone or obviously people are getting onto the fact now that you can kind of resurrect your stock price or momentarily double, triple, whatever the value of your company for shareholders just by saying you're exploring a Bitcoin treasury or buying a small amount or doing something. It is absolutely fascinating, I think.
Someone or some people are behind this because this seems a bit scammy to me.
It seems very bubblish, doesn't it? Very, very bubblish. Bitcoin's having a good push to the upside last 10 minutes. Very nice. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think it's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Someone or a cable of people are behind this, and there must be a reason why. Because this is basically like pump and dumps, right? Yeah,
but I mean the charts look like that, don't they? A lot of them have gone back to the starting point or around that. They're not exactly going on new highs, are they? I mean, this is one. Which one is it? One of them does interest me. I think it's this one. I mean, this one interests me because the sheer velocity that this went up. There must be something else going on here, because this one did like 20x in a month. So the Concilium Group, the one that you looked at, then what did they do? I can't know, where has this come from? Maybe it came from Michael's. There was one that Michael Saylor reposted or something. Maybe it's one of them. I don't know what they raised or how much they bought, but they obviously must have done something, because that is just actually ridiculous, isn't it? I don't know.
There must be It must
company
be
that as
part
well.
of some kind of scheme and with some
Oh.
form of.
Yeah, there we go. Actually, so they added 59.7 Bitcoin in June. So they was one that bought. So they already had, what's the mental maths on that? They already had about 14 and a half Bitcoin before that. So obviously, I'm guessing, just looking at the chart, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm guessing here maybe is where they originally bought. Just looking at how high that jumped up there, and then distributed back down, and then maybe they started announcing just regular buys or whatever. But I mean, is that a 20x on a stock worth 60 Bitcoin? I don't know, but that is just like, it's unfathomable, that, isn't it? Like a 20x on a stock in, and the thing is, that was like halfway through June as well. So that was in like literally, that was literally 10 days, 2 weeks.
And what was the market cap of the company to do that in the first place?
I don't know. Let's see. Coincilium Group. Let's see. Let's ask you up. Let's see. So it was 52.34 million as of June 27th. So June 27th is here, right at the end. So their market cap. So I don't know we don't know whether that's open to or closed. So let's just take the middle or something, like, let's just say like $22. So at the time, their market cap before obviously this big run would have been around 10 million, 12 million, something like that. And then obviously went all the way up to about, what would it be? About 200 million. Maybe just under. Looking at that. Which is just, it's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. And what is, so let's go back and have a look. So they added 59.7 Bitcoin. So let's see, what is 59, so let's just call it 60. 60 times, let's do it in pounds. Which one's in pounds here? 8, let's just call it what it is now. So they bought 4.8 million. So they bought 4.8 million worth of Bitcoin in pounds, 4.8 million pounds, which was roughly probably like half the size of the company. So I don't know whether it was cash on hand or what. But yeah, wild.
It's nutty. Absolutely.
Yeah, I found it fascinating. I made basically most of yesterday's live stream going through all these companies, just looking at like what had actually been going on, because I was like, wow, that's insane. I just find it very, very crazy that this is potentially what is going to start happening. Anyway, what have we got here? Can you get the Chippy company to buy Bitcoin? No, I can't. No. Wiz has done 11.5% on his options account, so very nice. What do we think? What do we think 100% of Wiz's options account was worth before that? Are you in 6 or 7 figures on that, Wiz? Wiz, I need a coin to long. ETH is at an interesting point. Yeah, Justin covered ETH before. It was really nice. 2.6k right now. Expect a breakout, says Desperados on ETH. Coins or stocks? What's this? I'm moving right now, so I've been in and out, letting the bots do my dirty work. Yes, Jeff. That's great to know, mate. That's great to know. But yeah, I find this whole going on with these companies and Bitcoin just absolutely fascinating. I think it's very interesting. So I don't know how to take advantage of it, and say, apart from maybe creating a pie and just hoping that these companies keep buying, or obviously the ones that have planned Bitcoin treasuries, the likelihood is a lot of their pump will have come back down. So then do you take the play on when they actually announce it? It's obviously going to do the same thing or even more. So obviously all these, there's a lot of ones that are planning Bitcoin treasuries that haven't announced yet. So when they announce it, then they get a decent pump. There's definitely something to keep an eye on. Lovely fake out, yeah. Took topside liquidity so far, hasn't it? Dave, have a look at Soon and BBAI. Okay. Let's see. BBAI, up to 850. Wow. I wish I kept hold of mine. I would be like approaching nearly a 3x on mine now if I'd have kept it. God damn it. And Soon. I don't think I've got that up on the thing anymore. Let's see. Soon Hound. Oh, 15th. Wow. Yeah, unbelievable. That's done 50% on it since towards the end of June. Really nice increase. But I wish I would have kept my BBAI. What a rally. I'd have sold it by now, though. There's no way to hold it. I'd have sold it in this consolidation if I didn't sell it before. I know. Yes, Kev, how are we doing? Maybe a good chance for you to take profits on the latter. I've already sold it. Sold it at like $6. I should have kept hold of it, but there we go. Profit is profit, isn't it? But yeah, obviously, relative to now, I should have held it. Easy, Kev, yes, mate. Been waiting for ages for my COQ to go up. What's that? And do not tell me that you're trying to get me to say a naughty word there. Is it this? Something tells me that it's not this. Or is it actually this? Let's see. RN saying he's waiting ages for his cock to go up. So let's have a look at his cock. Let's see. This is a very interesting looking chart, isn't it? What a fascinating looking chart this is, my God. Yeah, not really sure what to say on that, mate. Hopefully you get it to go up. Make sure you plan your exit, because I would be getting out. If you get out with any profits on that, I would take them and run. But yeah, what's Bitcoin doing? Back up now. Look at that. I drew this before, this blue line, and that's exactly where we come up to. Looking at these wicks I was across here. I didn't short it or anything, but I was looking at it. I don't think I'm going to short this today. It looks strong, doesn't it?
I think it's all looking a bit choppy, personally.
Yeah.
Fantastic, eh?
Yeah. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Some very interesting things going on in the world of not crypto, but Bitcoin. Definitely interesting things going on in the world of Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's on the verge. I think that and ETH look good. Everything else looks like a bag of dicks, basically.
Yeah. There we go. But yes, we may as well end the stream there.
Well, you have a lovely time off, Dave, won't you?
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I cannot wait. It's going to be nice. It's going to be very nice. And I think we'll be like passing ships, won't we?
Yes. So it's going to be a few. So I'm not back until mid-August, basically.
Yeah. So, wow, yeah. But we will be speaking on Telegram.
We will be speaking in our own private domain with Wizmeister General.
Yeah, we will.
Well, have a lovely holiday, Dave.
Yes, and you too, mate. And obviously, big thank you for coming on again today. Thank you for spending your time with us. Yeah, make sure everyone drops Justin a big thank you in the chat. And of course, make sure you drop a big like before you go. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click them links in the description as well. And yeah, that's me done for until the 22nd. So 2 weeks. Make sure you do come and tune in. No Save with Crypto will be covering me. He'll be streaming every day on the channel. So make sure you do come and show him some support while he's taking the solo route and kindly covering the streams, so they're still put on for you guys. So yeah, make sure you drop in, join him as you would me. I know he'd very much appreciate that. But yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Take care.
Nice one, Dave.
Yeah, see you later, mate.
See you, everyone. See you back.
And yeah, for those of you that are, of course, in Stonksy, I will still be nipping into the Discord, so you don't have to miss me too much. You'll still be able to tag me and stuff if you need, and I will. Jeff, check Piff before you go. You bugger. Anything for you, Jeff. Anything for you. If it was anyone else, I would pretend I didn't see that. I'm only messing. Let's see what's it been doing. Probably needs that bigger chart, don't we? Oh, we have checked this before. There's the SR. There's the SR flip, isn't it? There. Yeah, I mean, it's still in price discovery to the downside unless there's more data on a different chart. Obviously, I mean, super high time frame. This is obviously the SR test, isn't it? This is where obviously high time frame bear flips to bull, if you will. But until then, I mean, yeah, it's still obviously got some, hasn't it? Stonksy's got this level outlined here, which looks good. So I mean, yeah, lower time frame, we probably want to see a reclaim of this red line. But crucially, you do not want it to close a daily candle below there, which looks like 8.5 cents. So any sort of retest to the downside, imperative that it stays above here. Down here, you know what will give that, Jeff? Starts going below there is skull and crossbones. But yeah, any retest to the downside definitely needs to hold above here for a daily close. Low time frame, reclaim this level that Stonksy's got outlined here on the daily. Looks really good. Obviously, touch there, support, pop over, back down, resistance. So reclaim that, and then from there, probably looks fairly decent actually up towards about here. And then yeah, after that, you're coming into, look at that. Looked at that when it was actually stuck in that range. That actually will play a part, I think, because there's your daily supply zone. So there's your daily block that, you know, you'll need to really push through. So there's your supply. So let me give you a little gift here, Jeff. We'll leave that one there, but to the upside, obviously regain this and push up there. Or above there into supply. I mean, that would be pretty hard for it to regain straight away, I think. Obviously it would take time to push through there, maybe a pullback first, but then above there, I think, yeah, up to there. And then obviously that's the high time frame flip then. So there you go, Jeff. Anything for you, mate. But yeah, big thank you, everyone. And I'll catch you all soon. Bye-bye.